Good day, students. Welcome to Step Up E-tutors Functions Mathematics Online tutorial. My name is Lerato and we will be looking at some past exam questions, and this tutorial will be based on the NSC Grade 12 Common Test June 2022 paper. We will be tackling question 7, Hyperbola. If you haven't subscribed, please join our wonderful family and remember to share and like the video.
Given the graph of hx equals to 4 over x minus 3 minus 8. 7.1 asks, write down the equations of the asymptotes of h. It is important to note that this equation is a hyperbola. Secondly, a hyperbola has two possible asymptotes. And lastly, an asymptote is where the graph does not touch. So we're first going to start with a vertical asymptote, which is x minus 3 equals to 0. Then we'll have x equals to 3. The second asymptote is y equals to minus 8. So when looking at the graph itself, we'll see that the first asymptote is based on this section of the equation, and the second asymptote is based on this part of the equation. 7.2 says determine the intercept of the graph of h with the axis. There are two possible intercepts. We'll start with the x-intercept, which is y equals to 0. Therefore, we're going to take this y equals to 0 and substitute it into the hx equation. We're going to have 0 in place of the y equals to 4 over x minus 3 minus 8. Then we're going to bring the minus 8 over the equal sign and have 8 equals to 4 over x minus 3. To remove the x minus 3 as a denominator, we'll times on both sides by x minus 3, because what you do on the left, you do on the right. We'll have left over 8 times x minus 3 equals to 4. Then we're going to times in the 8, which will leave us with 8x minus 24 equals to 4. We're going to bring over the negative 24 over the equal sign and have 8x equals to 24 plus 4, which is 28. We will divide on both sides by 8 and have x equals to 7 over 2. It is important to remember that they asked us to give the intercepts. Therefore, it is important to leave your answer in terms of a coordinate. So we'll have 7 over 2 on the x and 0 on the y. Next, we'll be looking at y-intercept, which is x equals to 0. Then we'll substitute in the x equals to 0 into the hx equation and have y equals to 4 over 0 minus 3 minus 8. Then we'll have y equals to 4 over negative 3 minus 8. And our final answer, after you've typed everything into your calculator, will be negative 9, 1 over 3. But it is important to remember again that you should leave your answer in terms of a coordinate. Therefore, we'll have x equals to 0 and y as negative 9, 1 over 3. The next question, which is 7.3, asks, sketch the graph of h, clearly show all intercepts with the axis and the asymptotes. Reading that, we can see that it is important that we use the things that we calculated in 7.1 and 7.2. So we are going to draw a graph. Please note that my graph won't be 100% on scale, as I'll be drawing using freehand, but you have a ruler, so please make sure that everything is on scale as much as possible. Okay, so I'm firstly going to start with labeling everything on my graph so that the marker can clearly see what's happening. So this is the y-axis and these are the x-axis, right? Then we are going to have the first thing, which is our asymptote. So we have a positive 3. I'm going to try and make this as straight as possible. And then we'll have our -8. It is important to indicate to your marker that this is -8 and this is a positive 3. And also label your asymptote. So you have x equals to 3 and y equals to -8. Then we are going to plot the coordinates that we had calculated on top, which is the x-intercept, which was 7/2 is to 0. And the second one was the -9 1/3. So we're going to write it as a coordinate here, saying it's 0 to -9 1/3. Okay, so then we plot it for our marker. Then we are going to draw our curve. Make sure that your curve comes as close as possible to the asymptote but does not touch the asymptote. So as we start here, going down, okay, then we continue going this way. Okay, then the second one is going that way, also goes down. Okay, it is important to remember to label your curve. So it's hx. Everything should be clearly defined. So that is the 3 and that is 7/2. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, then next we'll be moving to 7.4. 7.4 says write down the equation of the vertical asymptote of qx equals to hx minus 4. The first thing we're going to do is write down the equation of hx, the original hx. So it's hx equals to 4/x minus 3 minus 8. Then go back to the top and realize that they want us to calculate the vertical asymptotes for qx. So qx is qx equals to hx minus 4. Okay, that means that where there is an x on the original equation of hx, we need to substitute it in with x minus 4. That means we'll have qx equals to 4/x minus 4 minus 3. And then we'll have the minus 8. That means qx is 4 over x, then negative 4, negative 3 is negative 7 minus 8. Then the vertical asymptote, just like the very first question 7.1, is based on this section. Therefore, we'll have x minus 7 equals to 0. Therefore, x is equals to 7. Next, we'll be looking at 7.5, which says if y equals to k minus x is the equation of one of the axes of symmetry to the graph of h, determine the value of k. So let's firstly write down what they had stated. So it's y equals k minus x. So it's y equals k minus x. Then they said that is the equation of one of the axes of symmetry of the graph of h. So what is the axis of symmetry of the graph of h? Axis of symmetry of the graph of h is x equals to 3 and y equals to minus 8. Therefore, what we're going to do is substitute positive 3 minus 8 into this equation. So on the y, we'll have minus 8 equals to k minus 3. Then we'll have a positive k, and then on the other side, because we need to bring numbers to one side and leave variables on the other side, so we'll have negative 8 plus 3, because the negative over the equal sign is going to turn positive. Then we'll have k equals to minus 5.
Thank you very much for taking part in our lesson today. We would really appreciate if you would like and comment below if you have any other questions that you'd like us to answer. And if you'd like private tutoring lessons from myself, please email stepupetutors@gmail.com or WhatsApp the number 083 343 8245. Thank you. Bye.